Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. So with the major announcement coming this past weekend of Yu-Gi-Oh! 8 being released and set to debut in April of 2022, that obviously has massive ramifications on the current anime, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, which is now all but confirmed to be ending in March of 2022. And if it ends on the final week of March, which is when Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows normally end, it usually ends the last week of the month that it's going to end in. It means that Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s is going to have 92 episodes. And we say 92 episodes because we know there is not an episode on January 2nd. And so if we count the Sundays that the show is airing in Japan, this coming week being episode 80, unless I'm doing my counting wrong, there would be 92 episodes, meaning there are only 13 episodes left of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime. It looks like there's going to be 7 arcs, which of course there are, and it looks like that Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's was planned to be a 2-year show from the start. I've already seen a few people, mostly people that have not really been watching 7's, asking if this means that 7's is ending early. I don't think that it is. I think that 7's was probably always planned to run for 2 years. And so even though this is going to be significantly shorter than any Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, especially the Studio Gallop Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, which usually ran for about 3 years, I don't think that was due to some sort of issue with the show or anything like that. In fact, the show has been received very positively in Japan. The Nico ratings have been very good. You can see the charts. I'll even have maybe some comparisons for the Vrains Nico ratings and the Arc 5 Nico ratings. And Nico is just a site that users who watch the shows over in Japan can vote on how they felt the episode was, 1 being a very good, 5 being a very bad. Furthermore, the Rush Duel card game, especially for a new IP, has been selling very, very well. And on top of that, on day 2, I reached out to my friend Aura, who works over at Entame Subs, and they informed me that Yoshio, the actor that was brought on stage, that if you watch 7's, you know who Yoshio is because he's in a lot of the ending segments, was dueling a random person in the Jump Festa stream, and the random person that he was dueling had the username, Please Don't End 7's. Just a random person that was playing on the Japan servers for Jump Festa. So clearly there are a lot of people who are going to miss 7's, and there are a lot of people who were really enjoying 7's and watching 7's. And the reason I'm even bringing this up is because there's no indicator that the show was struggling or that the show was not performing well or that Rush Duels were not performing well, and there's just no realistic reason that they would can the show a year early. What's way more likely, and what was definitely the case, is that Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's was always planned to be a 2-year show, and we probably lost about 10 episodes due to the 2 5-week breaks that the studio took in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the world, and more specifically in Japan at that time. And so 7's was probably always set to be a 102 episode show, but because of COVID, we are only getting about 92 episodes. And so we only have 13 episodes left of this series before it comes to an end. Now, we're hoping that there are elements of 7's that will be continued in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. It seems like the twins could be Yuga's children. I know there's a few theories that it might be an alternate universe, but Yumi and Yuamu have the same last name, Odo, as our main protagonist, Yuga. So there is a possibility that we will see these characters continue in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, just in a smaller role, which I think would be really cool. There's, of course, just too many unknowns and too many variables before we can say that to be the definitive case, but this might not be the last time that we see the characters of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's. But there's a lot that this show really needs to kind of wrap up here. You know, we have the Gohei Yuga thing that just was introduced to us a couple of weeks ago, and we imagine that Gohei Yuga is going to be the final villain throughout the entire rest of the series. The Goha siblings still pose a lot of mysteries that I think are going to get answered probably in the next episode. You know, there's things like the alien girls that I wonder if what's up with them is ever going to be mentioned again. And the most interesting aspect of this story to me has to be Otis. And there might be people that disagree with me on this, but that is the one element of this story that I hope really gets wrapped up. Otis and the Seven's Road book that was found by Swirly and Mimi, which seemed to indicate something, number one, sinister happening in the past, and number two, the reason that Otis, or at least the inspiration that caused Otis to create the Seven's magicians, the Seven's archetypes. And so Otis has been at the forefront of this story. I feel like he's almost been a god of this story, manipulating everything from the back, setting Yuga and his friends on this path to unlock the door to the new world, to install rush duels. And I feel like the Otis storyline is the main one, in my opinion, that really needs to have a good conclusion here. I know they could bring Otis into Go Rush because he does seem like this timeless figure, but we don't even know if Goha Corporation is going to have any part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, right? They're in Mutsuba Town. They're no longer even in Goha City or anything like that. And for that reason, I just think that everything with Goha and everything with Otis, those are the main plot elements that need to be wrapped up here before Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's says it's goodbye to us in just 3 short months. Because I just feel like those are the elements that have been most intertwined with Yuga and his journey. You know, if we don't get Luke Man again, if we don't get the alien girls again, they might be in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush, and I'd be completely fine with that. But there are some elements here that I do hope get really concretely tied in. And I think a lot of people that have been enjoying Sevens are nervous about this. I've seen a lot of people that are a little upset about it, like angry, because they just feel like there's still a lot more of a story to be told. And I can definitely see where they're coming from with that. I also think, going back to the last 2 Yu-Gi-Ohs, there's a lot of people who just get this this subconscious anxiety when it comes to the end of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime because of the way Arc 5 ended and because of the way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains ended. I feel like 5Ds and Zexal ended really, really well. Actually, I feel like all the spin-offs, GX, 5Ds, and Zexal, the first 3 spin-offs, ended really well. Like, I loved their final season. I really enjoyed the way that those shows concluded. But recently, the way Arc 5 ended, wasn't a big fan of. I don't think many people were. The way Vrains ended, it was very rushed. That final season was only 17, 18 episodes. You want to talk about a show that got cut early? I still feel like Vrains was cut 6 months early because of struggles that were happening at Gallup. Of course, that's just my opinion. I think there's some things that can back that up, but you know, I think Vrains was always supposed to be a 3-year show. And so I think when you look back at Arc 5 and Vrains, and listen, I liked Arc 5, I really liked Vrains, but the endings were the weak points of those shows, in my opinion. And I just think there's a lot of people who are nervous that when a Yu-Gi-Oh! Show is ending, is it gonna, you know, be like history repeating itself here? Here's a couple of reasons why I'm not too worried. Number one, it's an entirely new team. It's not Ono, it's not Yoshida, it's an entirely new team of writers and directors alike, and this team is also working on Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. So I think they have a very good vision for how they want to conclude Sevens and how they want to lead us into Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. And so for that reason, I feel more confident than ever that we are going to have a solid ending here, and the plot points that they have kind of still needed to tie up are going to be tied up before Sevens comes to an end. But whether that happens or doesn't, we're going to know in 3 months. This show is over and finito in 3 months, and it will be the shortest Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime with only 92 episodes. And to be honest, guys, to be completely honest, this might be the shortest Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime ever, because even if the precedent is now 2 years for a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, like let's say Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 will be announced in 2023 and Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush will last 2 years, you imagine 10 episodes are not going to get scrapped due to COVID or due to any sort of pandemic, knock on wood. And so a 2-year show should have about 100, 101 episodes. So Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's may very well be the shortest Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime ever, not because of the 2-year mark, which I think might be the new benchmark for Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. It seems like that's how Studio Bridge wants to do their Yu-Gi-Oh! shows, but rather because of the 10 episodes that were lost due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But guys, let me know all your thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's ending. I'm okay with it ending after 2 years because I don't think there's a correlation between episode length and how good a show is. Death Parade is one of my favorite shows ever. It only has 13 episodes. Code Geass is one of my favorite shows ever. It has 52 episodes. I think however many episodes a team wants to tell their story, whether that's 3 years, whether it's 7 years, whether it's 13 weeks, I am completely fine with. And I think that the team here is going to do a very good job of making everything just kind of work here at the end. And I think they're going to wrap up Sevens in a really cool way that will lead directly into Yu-Gi-Oh! 8, which is, of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. But let me know all your thoughts, concerns, things you want to see happen before Sevens comes to an end. And once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all of the support as usual. And a special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Horace Maye, Goosey Q, Panther J, Blue Maiden 28, and Jarrett Buller, and to my Diamond tier patrons, Jesse Wood, Latrell Smith, and Erick Avila, and to my Egyptian God tier patrons, Ccapacappuuu and Syn Cloud. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon. Thank you to everyone who is a YouTube channel member. You guys help me out and you help out this channel so much. I cannot begin to explain how thankful and appreciative I am for each and every one of you. Definitely check out my Patreon for more channel exclusive perks down below in the description. I stream on Twitch, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. Links for all of those will be down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.